Right, today I'm going to talk about lambdas in Java. I'll start with an example of why we use lambdas. So here's my basic hello world program. Now imagine we have a class called social media. And in that class, we're going to have a method called hashtag. And all that does for the purpose of this example is just print out hashtag. Now, if I wanted to run that hashtag method, a normal way of doing it would be social media sm equals new social media, and then we just invoke the method hashtag. If I run that, and we get the message hashtag printed out, which is all fine. Let's tidy up this. Shouldn't be that. Okay, now if we have an interface, a social media interface, this will help to explain how lambdas work. So a lambda is just an anonymous function, a function without a name. So I'm going to create this interface for the social media class. So it's just void hashtag. And that's it. And then we could use it here. We could say social media implements the social media interface. That should be public. And if we run that, and we get the same result. So we've just got a social media class implementing the social media interface. Now, the idea behind a lambda is it avoids the need to actually have the social media class at all. We can just get rid of that, and instead we can create an anonymous function. So we'll have a social media object SMI, and that's going to equal this funny notation. So it's no parameters, got no parameters going in and out, and all it does is just return. I'll do it in lowercase just so we can see it's running this. It's just going to return hashtag, and that's it. We've kind of implemented everything. No, that's wrong. It's not going to return hashtag. It's going to print hashtag. So let's just format that correctly. So yeah, so no parameters in and out. So this is the notation. This is the Lambda notation. These are the parameters. No parameters going in. There's nothing being returned. It's just all it's doing is it's just printing out this message. So I'll change that, swap that over to the interface, and I'll delete this class. And I can delete that line. And now this should have exactly the same output. There we go, hello world, hashtag. So we've avoided, it's an anonymous function here. It doesn't exist in the class. We've just created it kind of inline. So that's the basics of how a Lambda can be created in its simplest form. We can also give it parameters. We can pass a string in, but if we pass a string in, we need to tell the interface that it's expecting a string. So it's string S. So let's go back. So we're going to pass a string in, and this time let's do let's print the string with a hashtag in front of it. So let's run that again. So there's our input parameter. Oh. Required string, no arguments. Hashtag. I need to give it something here. Let's just say ABC. There we go. So it's hashtag ABC. Hello world, hashtag ABC. So that's how we supply, that's an input parameter for a Lambda. And now if we want it to return something, so if we want to get something back, then we can just put a return statement in line here, and we'll just say return hashtag plus S. And we can get rid of that line there. Put it in brackets. Oh, no. I just need to change the interface to let it know that there will be a string coming back. Let's just run that. Oh, I didn't put the, let's just capture the output. There we go, hashtag ABC. So we're passing an argument in, string in, and we're capturing it on the way out. And then we're printing it. So this is an input and an output parameter. So you get the idea. This return statement you can actually omit if you want to, but I'll leave it in just for clarity. Right, so what we can now do is we don't need to use, there's already interfaces defined for all the sort of common operations, whether we've got one input parameter, no output, an input and an output parameter, or no parameters at all. So let me just show you that. So I'm going to delete this social media interface. So we don't need that at all. I can delete it all. And what I'm going to do is for the first one, I'm going to call it the first one. This is for no, if there's no parameters at all, we use runnable. So runnable. And I'll just call this our Lambda. And this has got, so it's got no parameters going in, and it's not going to have any parameters coming out. It's just going to be a hashtag message. So get rid of all that. So now if I run this, you'll see it's the same as the first example that I showed you. too many semicolons, shouldn't matter that. Oh, and I actually have to run it. So the method used to run it is called run. Let's run that again. So it's instead of the get hash, we just got lambda.run. And there we go, there's hashtag. So that's for no parameters at all. Now say if we just want to put one parameter in, and this time this is called consumer. So we'll call it a consumer lambda. These are all pre-canned functional interfaces that we can use. So let's just bring that in. So we've got consumer lambda blah 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 blah, and this time it's not run, it's accept. So this will now let's actually make this do something as well. So I'll put a hashtag there with the string, and if I run that, oops, need to give it something to work on. So I'll put ABC in there. Try again. There we go, hashtag ABC. And then the third one, if we have input and output parameters, then that's called a function. It's another kind of lambda. So we need to actually return something now. So let's put return hashtag, oops, hashtag and s, oops, with a plus, and I'll get rid of that line there. We need to do the bring in the imports for function. And now instead of accept, it is apply. So we're going to apply, do a lambda apply, and we'll capture the output there, and then print it out. S, it's complaining about something. Ah, yes, we need to cast it. We need to tell it that a string is coming back because these are just anonymous typed functional interfaces. Let's run it again. There we go, hashtag ABC. So the last one, the fourth, so we've done runnable, consumer, function, and the last one when it's just output only is supplier. So I'll just hard code that ABC in there, and we'll take away there's no input, and so this should be changed to supplier. Oops. Supplier. Bring in the import, and instead of apply now it is get. Just do X, Y, Z just to make sure it's actually working. There we go, hashtag X, Y, Z. So that's a quick tour of lambdas in Java.